What is going on? T to the M to the IDD, and I have another video for y'all. Now, you know I do behind the scenes photo shoots, and I show you the process that I go through, but lately I've been getting a lot of questions about giving more detail on how I got the shot. When I do my behind the scenes, sometimes it's really easy to just get zoned in and focused into, you know, your thing. You kind of like in a workflow, shooting, and so sometimes I forget to give the specifics of the shoot that I'm actually doing. So what I'm going to do is, and you all let me know if this is constructive enough and actually informational from your standpoint. I'm going to go back and start. I was gonna call it photo walk, but then I'm like, it's not really a photo walk. So it's just how I got the shot, which I've seen on some things before. But I'm just going to go back through the footage, and I'm going to select 3 of the best pictures that I've taken with the particular shoot, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you what was going through my mind at that point, why did I do what I was doing, etc., because some of that does get lost during the actual shoot because I'm more focused on getting the shot at that moment. So let's jump into this first, this very first one. It was a recent shoot. I'm going to link it somewhere right here so you can actually check it out if you haven't seen it. But right now we're going to jump right into my computer. Okay, so here we are in my computer. Let's go. So I'm actually going to show you the model Simone. So this was a shoot that we recently did, and I got this really nice backlit scene. So that's where we are now. I'm going to change the view. Okay, so we actually have all of the images right here. And so the 3 that I am going to choose is this first one. Okay, it's more a moody type look out, so something's really particular with this image. The next one, this is more bright and vibrant look, so this was an intentional shot as well. And then the last one, this one was just the light was popping everywhere. So I'm going to show you my approach, my thoughts, everything that was going on with these 3 particular shoots. Okay, so just do a quick roll through right here. This is the first part of the shoot. I got some other stuff that I didn't even release, some shots that I didn't even release that I was playing with. I'll probably drop that maybe sometime. I don't know when, to be honest. But always good to have things in the cut. So as you can see, this is just like a quick scroll through. Probably have about 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, maybe just between these easily 100. Let's see, shots that I had with just that, yeah. So 118 shots just for that particular scene. And I'm gonna go through those 3 that I told you. But I was able to get that at 100 shots, not bad. I typically shoot 100 to 250 in any given session. All right. Okay, so how I got the first shot, I knew I wanted something moody, so I started off with that. It does not matter how the lighting is outside. If you have high speed sync, you can definitely make it look as dark as possible. So you see how bright it is and versus the actual image. So here I am basically setting up my softbox. I took 1 layer of diffusion out because the sun was so powerful. Keep in mind, I have seen this location, never shot here, but always kept it in the back of my mind. So I knew exactly where the sun would be setting. And that's important. Sometimes you shoot with already having information about the site that you're shooting at prior to, because it helps for you to be able to better plan. So I knew exactly where the sun would fall, so I knew where my model would need to be so I can get the backlit shot. And then there you have it, adjusting again so that I can get a full body shot. I normally don't like to put my softbox up as high, but just to be able to get a full body shot, I needed some leverage with that 70 to 200 lens. And so there you have it, how I was able to get this particular image right here with a little bit of mood in the background. And the high speed sync is key to allow, you know, it to be darker than it actually appears on the camera image. Okay, so this second one was more vibrant, a lot more light coming in. So I changed my f-stop on my camera to allow some more of the ambient light come in. And also I noticed that the sun was coming right into my camera. So I wanted to create more of a vibrant, poppy, a lot of sun. So I knew that I wanted to create natural lens flares by letting the sun come right into my lens. And so you can see the sun is actually behind the model, but I'm actually peeking my lens around the model just to let a little bit of sun come into my lens, enough so that I get these nice lens flare and nice vibrant sun kind of poking out. And so that's how I was able to create this image right here. Okay, so here we have it, the last shot. So I already directed the model to take her I guess you want to say lace kind of strap and let it fall. Adds a little bit of elegance to the shot. So I noticed that she had her arm kind of too far back, so it was looking more pressure. You hear me kind of say that to her. More pressure was applying, so I told her to bring her arm up a little slightly so it falls more softly. And keep in mind, those shots before that I showed you were all with one light. This shot right here, I actually was using the Godox AD300 Pro, and then I was also using the Godox AD200 as another light. Didn't really need it, but I added a yellow gel on there to add a little bit more pop of light, and so you can see that kind of on the shoulder in the image. And then the main source that I really wanted, that I really cared about, was the sun in the background to backlight her. And you can see how precious it is in this image because it's just rimming the outline of her hair, and then you actually get some of that rim light on the silhouette of her body also. So that was all planned. So I had my sun backlighting her, I had my main light with the softbox actually illuminating her mainly, and then I had the Godox AD200 with a yellow gel on there to actually pop her out a little bit more. And so that was the setup for that. So these are all the things that, you know, once you shoot, if you know beforehand, you can actually be prepared for and actually shoot the shot that you know that you want, instead of a lot of times going to the shoots and you just creating on the spot, which I do also, but these were definitely intentional shots on my behalf. So this is T to the M to the IDD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all supporting me 1000%. And let me know if this walkthrough helps you in the slightest way, because if it does, I will continue to bring this type of content and go back through the videos meticulously and tell you what I was thinking and why I was doing everything that I did while I was taking that shot. Peace.